Hello everybody, I'm Jack and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me on this last day of the week, Friday. Just about to take some sun and thought I would do a video first instead of after today. As I was thinking about this video, as I was just about to turn the on button, I'm like, oh God, with those words in the title, affordable health care. I hope that doesn't kind of, those keywords don't like draw the political types. This has nothing to do with politics. I don't like politics. I don't really care for political people that much. So if you should be one of these people that stumbled across thinking this is some debate on healthcare, it ain't that. You're welcome to stay and get some of the health information, but yeah, this one has nothing to do with politics. I'm apolitical. I hate all sides equally in politics. Well, I don't hate the people. I just think it's all a farce. Anyhow, that's not why we're here today. A lot of times, you know, people talk about how this lifestyle is expensive. And I guess, you know, we don't know everybody's circumstances, so that's why, you know, I'm even trying to more these days, like even watch my statements, not make such bold statements. But a lot of times when I do make a generalization, I am aware that there are always exceptions in there, and there's always people that don't fall within the generalizations. But I just think about this all the time when people, well, but it's expensive, it's expensive, it's expensive. Well, I don't know what your lifestyle is before you tried to get healthy or before you started being conscious of your health. But I can just think of the things that have cut out that can way more than pay for my food, you know, pretty much even if I was back in the States and not down here in the tropics. And think about these things and just think, I don't know, this could be you, some of them could be you, all of them could be you, none of them could be you. But for me, I never used to think anything, if I popped into a bar and sat for the day, I didn't think anything of paying a $60, $70 bar tab. Boom, that was like, you know, second nature. I mean, I'm sure all the boozing I did, and, you know, I went through heavier periods, but God, that was just such a huge part of my budget for so many years. Eating out was a huge part of my budget for a lot of years. I remember when I first moved to Costa Rica and had a little bit of money and was living large, sometimes I'd eat out 3 times a day. I was probably spending, God, $30, $40 a day in restaurants. And even when I had slowed down a little bit, I was still spending a considerable amount because I went to restaurants. And, you know, just various other things that I have given up and that most people will probably have given up coming to a healthier lifestyle. I mean, right there, I've just already cut a lot of money, but look at it from another aspect about preventative medicine for the future. You know, it's ridiculous the cost of getting taken care of these days, and it's really not even about taking. It's not about really taking care of you. It's about hooking you, so you have to be part of that system for the rest of your life. You know, whether it's taking medication for the rest of your life or going to constant doctor visits for the rest of your life. So, you know, traditional health care can be pretty expensive. Now, if you start factoring in the fact that most people, and, you know, this is, I'm talking about raw vegans, but it's really, it'll apply to anybody that's a high-carb vegan, mostly. If you're eating a clean, high-carb vegan lifestyle, you have a much less significant chance of getting most of the major things that'll kill us in this life. Heart disease, cancer, diabetes, obesity-related diseases. Other than these, most of those things you are not going to be that susceptible to, or your risks are going to be very low for them if you're eating a high-carb vegan lifestyle. You know, we put our hands in the faith of this system. We're born into systems. We're born into systems that we didn't choose. We're born into systems that we didn't help put together. And we're born into systems that I know I didn't ever approve of, and I don't approve of, and I just don't really care to participate in. You know, think about it. Most everybody, we all come from a different place, and some people have come from a place of sickness and have healed themselves through this diet and lifestyle. But the rest of us that are just kind of normal people, you know, we tend to still save money on an ongoing basis because, I mean, I know a lot of the people that I talk to are similar to me. I don't, you know, cold and flu season. Okay, I'm down here, so I'm not in the middle of some areas that probably have more people infected. And I don't know how my immune system would stand up if I was coming in contact, if I was in that sort of situation where I was coming in contact with those germs every day, because I feel like a lot of my health is from two different things. It's from the fact that I have beefed up and have a very healthy, strong immune system, but it's also from the fact that I'm limiting my contact with germs because of my lifestyle and because of the way I'm not constantly out there. I'm not a big fan, even if I live that, I try to stay away from that as much as possible. I know it's a social convention, but I'm not that dude. I don't like to shake hands 30 times a day or kiss strangers on the cheek or whatever. I'm not that type person. I like to, I'm just not a touchy type. So I tend not to be sick. I can't tell you the last time I was really ill. I've had a few travel days, sometimes the day after I've flown, where I just kind of have this kind of just general, just don't feel great, but not sick, and it usually bounces off the day after. I can't tell you the last cold I've had. Haven't had flu. Well, I never got flu or colds a lot even before I came to this lifestyle, but haven't had any now. And I know I do hear a lot of other people out there that they just don't tend to have colds anymore. When they do get them, it seems like they get rid of them really quick. And a lot of that is just probably simply the fact that we're eating a diet that doesn't produce mucus in our body. And as we detox more and get more of this mucus out of our body, now this is nothing scientific, but I'd have to look into it more, but I just don't even know what I would do with a cold. How would it express itself? Because there's not a whole lot of mucus in my body. I'm not 100% mucus free. I'll cough up a little bit and spit sometime, but very, very. I don't blow my nose. You don't get the snot, don't get boogers and stuff. So very low mucus. So I don't have to deal with colds and flu. Now the next one, and I see 1,000 commercials every time I come to the States on this, is stomach stuff. Like the industry, like Tums, Rolaids, all these acid indigestions, all these stomach ache things. These things are pure garbage, people, but they're a huge industry. If you looked into how much, I don't even know how to put a price on that kind of stuff, or how many a billion or $1 trillion a year industry that is, but I'm sure it's huge. I mean, they have perverted, and it's nothing more. I'll say it straight again. Understand what I'm saying. Perversion. Watch a little TV. You types that don't watch TV and think it might corrupt your mind, you might actually get a little insight into society. Watch a little bit of TV on a weeknight during prime time, and look at all these commercials, and I think you'll have to agree with me that it is nothing less than perversion. There's commercials. There's one, I remember, it's a big giant taco fighting this guy, and they're trying to tell this guy, this taco is going to make you sick, it's going to give you acid indigestion, it's going to screw up your stomach, but take this little pill, and this little pill is going to make it less. You're probably going to get a little bit, or it'll make that heartburn go away in 15 minutes, 30 minutes. Why not get the heartburn in the first place? Why? There's just something wrong when you have to take a pill to deal with these poisons, or you have to take some sort of little tablet, or chew something up, or swallow something, or do whatever. So, you're right there, you're eliminating a lot of the colds and the flus, you're eliminating a lot of this garbage that people keep in their, like walk into most people's house and look in their medicine cabinet or wherever they keep their stuff, and you'll probably find always several. I mean, in my household as a kid, we always had Pepto-Bismol, something like Parapectalin for when your stomach got messed up and you had diarrhea. My dad had problems eliminating. He had these, this was more psyllium, natural stuff, but he was constantly taking stuff for constipation. But, that's what a standard American diet is going to do for you. And if you did nothing else, even if you don't have to be hardcore, even if you're not doing the fasting and heavy detoxing and whatever, just switching to a whole food plant-based lifestyle will cut out a lot of this stuff just like that. And that, I don't think, is some kind of a great claim. I'm not, like I say, I'm one of those that's a little bit more moderate in my message. I believe in the power of the raw living foods. I believe the power of food has to allow the body to heal itself. See what I'm saying? Food doesn't heal the body. Other people don't heal other people. The body can be allowed to heal itself. People can help you learn how to let your body heal itself. Food can get out of the way and let the body heal itself, but in the end, the body's going to heal itself. And just simply most high carb vegans, unless they're in a healing process. Now, if you're still in that healing process, that detox process, it may be too early for you to really appreciate this message. Because if if you've lived a life of abuse, if you've lived a life of the standard American diet, eating a lot of bad stuff, drinking a lot of bad stuff, maybe you don't have as strong a constitution coming into this, so maybe you're having a lot of bad feelings, a lot of aches and pains, a lot of little mini illnesses, which is detox. But I guarantee you, once you get through the detox, you're going to be way less susceptible just to these little everyday things, just the little day-to-day stomach aches, the flus and what have you. Yeah, I mean, I had the typical as a kid. I hated to go to school as a kid because I always seemed to have to go to the bathroom, and my digestion just wasn't good, and it was what I was putting into my body. Now, there's hardly a day goes by. In fact, sometimes I get a little too, I watch my elimination. You just like to know your patterns, you like to know you're in a nice cycle of doing, okay, if it slows down even a little bit, I'm like, okay, what's going on? But as far as feeling bad, as far as a bad stomach, I can't remember the last time I had like a bad stomach. I've had a couple of days, every once in a while where it's like, okay, that wasn't optimal, won't do that again, but pretty much feel good. Now, when you get to the bigger stuff, as a long-term thing, just greatly decreasing your chances of any kind of heart disease, of cancer or type 2 diabetes is huge. Because even if you have, like some of these things, unless you have the best of the best of the best insurance, health insurance out there, a major illness can still wipe out bank accounts, even with that, even outside of what the insurance will pay. Sometimes, people don't have the money to have the higher priced insurance, so they have a higher copayment or they have a higher deductible, and you get a major cancer, or you have a heart attack, or you have some major surgery that puts you in the hospital for a while, and you can get in the hole really quick. And if you have very inadequate health insurance, like a major illness, like a bout with cancer, and doing the traditional chemo and keeping you in that cycle of stuff that's going to cost more and more, it can almost wipe people out. Just one illness can wipe people out, or have them paying off a bill like that for the rest of their life. So why not? Whether you believe that eating this lifestyle, we can cure things or we can heal things, or whether you believe we can even prevent things 100%, you've got to agree that diet is relevant to the expression of these diseases, to the expression of one disease. Like I say, I don't study the disease aspect a lot because I've been healthy. So I'm still in my early grade school education. That'll be, when I get to middle school, I'll study a little bit more of that because I've studied more things that apply to me. But I mean, I don't think there's any argument out there that this is the best chance we have to prevent these diseases, which actually I believe is just one disease. I think all disease pretty much comes from the same source, and that's blockages, garbage, bad food choices in the body, or just a combination of our environment around us, because we pick up toxins. We can live in more toxic areas, but the healthier our system is, the easier it is to repel these toxins. It all works together, so it's not just the food. I mean, we need to, if you really want to live a life of health, I mean, we talk mostly about the food, but if you really wanted to live a life of health, if you're living in an unhealthy area, get the hell out. So what? So what about the job? So what? Kids like this school, it's what's it about in life? Health is our number one treasure. Health is our number one treasure. All these other things and all these other excuses, well, we got to do this, but blah, 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 making a living. And yes, you've got to make a living. You've got to keep a roof over your head. But are you working to make a living? Are you making the sacrifices to make a living? Or are you doing all this just to have things and the bigger house and 3 cars and whatever? That's not for me to judge. But what I'm saying is for me, all those things are kind of way down here. Health is up here. And, this is, if this isn't a 100% bulletproof thing, it is at least the best option we have to live the most healthy life, the most abundant life possible. And it's not just about living longer. It's about putting some of this health in the bank and growing and growing and growing and getting returns on that health. Like, I don't want to just live, I don't want to live to 100. I don't want to live over 100 if I'm not vibrant. I want to be able to do yoga when I'm 95 years old. I want to be able to, you know, totally take care of myself when I'm 95. I know I'm going to be a little bit slower, but I want to basically be able to live my life at 95 that I'm living now. And the way to do that, I know for me, is by what I'm taking into my body, what I'm not taking into my body, by the sunshine I'm getting, by the water I'm drinking, by staying hydrated with the water, by breathing, by doing more and more deep breathing and taking in oxygen. I mean, I live in a fairly healthy place for the air, but I wouldn't even be opposed to down the road looking into a place with better air quality, or at least going for a while. Ecuador's got incredible air quality. But anyway, all these modalities of health, mainly the food, but it all comes into the big picture, are things that we have control over in our hands. We've lived our whole life. You know, most of us, unless you've been a vegan or lived with a cool little hippie family growing up, we've always, like, this has just been, there's this magic guy, the doctors over there, and these doctors they're almost like, you know, voodoo practitioners with this secret knowledge, and we go to them and they give us all these little rituals and this and this and that, and they're in control, and we don't know what to do about our health. Now we've learned, we've come to a consciousness, we've come to a lifestyle that can help us take control of our own health. I'm going to take control of my own health, and I'm just advising you should too. Anyhow, hope you guys like this video. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. Hope you'll subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends. Go out and have a great weekend. This is the first day of spring, the equinox, rebirth, be reborn this weekend. Even, you know, pretend. Even if it's super cold where you are, pretend. Well, officially it is spring, so you're not pretending, but pretend. Just feel it. Feel the vibe that is spring. And have a wonderful weekend. Kiss your children. Love your wife. Love your husband. Love everybody. Have a great weekend, folks. Peace.